far, this has been one of the most interesting conferences that I've attended. It's only like 5 minutes into it. It's been remarkable in its originality. And I'd like to thank the Haines Port Development Council very much for pulling us together and for inviting not only the Haines Borough, but our friends in the Yukon and around the state. I think that once we get into the actual intermix and dialogue, that we'll have a lot of fun and and we'll be mining a lot of interesting new ideas that will help us along the way. So I look forward to that. I would like to just say on behalf of Mayor Scott, who I'm sure would have liked to be here, that she is in Craig right now at the Southeast Conference, and I am here in her stead. I would like to, as a representative of the Haines Borough, because I am an assembly member, like to introduce the Deputy Mayor Jerry Lapp, who will be here throughout the conference to answer any questions. The manager of the Haines Borough, Mr. Mark Ernest. Our port, what is your title now? Port manager? Just Harbor Master. Harbor Master. Thank you, Port and Harbor Master Phil Benner, and Darcy Colbeck, who is executive assistant to the manager at the Haines Borough. I will be leaving the conference because I have prior commitments, but they will be staying on to engage you in the discussions. The Haines Port, as most of us know, is blessed with incredible natural features. It's a deep harbor port. It's protected from inclement and stormy weather, and it is positioned so that its route, the grade for the transportation into the interior and parts beyond, as a very comfortable grade for road transport and the heavy haul of equipment. When I was a young kid, very young, the Logans had a cannery at in the Lutak area. In the 50s, the Army came in and built a fueling facility there in the Lutak Park. Schnabel Lumber Company built a dock in the area, which is now owned by Mr. Edward Chipu Lumber Company. Wood products, or construction supplies, consumer goods, all kinds of commerce commerce has been enacted in the Lutak area throughout the 40 or 50 years of the Lutak Port facility. Right now we share, as the port facility, the State of Alaska Marine Highway on the face of the Lutak dock. Delta Western and AML right now are contracted users of the port facility, but there still is a lot of room for development there. The history of the port development has kind of the reason that we are having summits and we are talking about the use of the port is because the use has dwindled, and we want to bring back the glory days, I would say, and work beyond that. The borough attended the the roundup in Vancouver last year, and that helped to bring up some introductions for the borough with other potential users of our port facility. We had discussions about the potential for our port, and we helped to position ourselves. And many of you have met with me and Darcy and other representatives of the port through that venue. After the after Roundup last year, the Haines Borough formed a Port Development Committee. It's chaired by Chip Lendy, and the borough contracted with CM2 Hill, Northern Economics, and PND to produce a port development study. We are on the cusp. Tomorrow will be the publication of the report of phase 1 of that port development study. The phase 1 was the transportation and market assessment, and we'll be moving into phase 2 of our port development study, which is the design development for the in reaction to the results of the market and transportation assessment. Haines recently passed adopted a comprehensive plan which has objectives for economic development and for transportation to capitalize on Haines' position as a transportation hub to increase transfer and shipment of cargo. So the community is rallying around that and devoted to the development of strategies to develop our port. Those are to prepare the port development plan, to investigate options for the use of our port facilities, and to develop and market port and transportation facilities. Moving on to the slideshow. Obviously, this is just a map that we're going to be, if you're not already intimately familiar with, you will be. Basically, it shows the positioning of Haines relative to mineral exploration and development and transportation in the Yukon. Next one. Number 2, I think, will be that. And this just gives it's more of a clear point to show the triangulation or the circular route and the positioning of Haines relative to Whitehorse and Haines Junction. Next slide. Again, I do want to emphasize that one of the attributes of the Haines area is the Haines Highway. Our partnership with the state of Alaska has been really good for us in the sense that they recognize that the grade and the route of the Haines Highway is a superior transportation corridor. It is user-friendly, and the state of Alaska has been very important to recognizing that and improving the corridor, including the bridges, so that the weights that are necessary for industrial transport are met. Next slide. There it is. Next slide. 40 miles from the Canadian border, year-round roads designed for industrial use. The truck route provides direct access to the facilities, and we're in the process now of the Alaska DOT upgrades, and I think that later on our staff will be able to speak much more specifically to the upgrades that DOT is, well actually the DOT itself can tell us what they're doing on the highway, so let's move on. We don't have to talk. In the LUTAC facility, and I hope that everybody has an opportunity to take the tour to the port facility in LUTAC Inlet. This is a stretch of the LUTAC Road where first you meet that on the left-hand side is the LUTAC port that is owned by the Haines Borough and the Alaska Marine Highway, and then beyond that is the privately owned infrastructure of the Chipwood Lumber Company. Above on the uplands there you see some petroleum storage units, and then I think on the left-hand side and on the right, that's the chip holding facility for the no longer used wood products industry. Next slide. This is a kind of difficult to see, but it's an aerial view that we have, I think P&D engineers have drawn to the left-hand side of the existing LUTAC dock, a conceptualization of how the port facility, the borough's infrastructure can be expanded and improved. Right now we do have a barge landing facility there on the western side. That could be, if we have expansion of the actual area and dock face, we can still see the development of the barge loading facility in another location. Next slide. You can read that more quickly than I can read it to you. Move on. Another, just an aerial photo of the Chilkoot dock, which right now, that's a picture of it, and it's at the time that it was serving the wood products industry. It currently serves fish, I think it's fish processing, and I'm not familiar with right now with what it is servicing, but there are people in the group that will be able to speak to that. Next. Another one. Move on. This is a aerial of the Army surplus property, and the Haines Borough Development Council, I'm sure, has people prepared to speak to the status of that particular piece of land. It's of course very strategic and very developable once it is pronounced clean. Move on. The Haines, and I think it's important right now to just draw a distinction. This summit is being hosted by a independent group called the Haines Borough Development Council. The Haines Borough has a Haines Borough Development Steering Committee, which is, I represent that at this point, and these things here I've already spoken to. Move on. Everyone's favorite picture of Haines.
I don't know how many times.
Yes. And I think that one of the things that we do promote for Haines when we think about industrial development in the community, or for the community, is the fact that the community is still able to absorb development and deal with increased population. It's a vibrant community with a high quality of life, and it's a place that we love to be in and would love to welcome others to visit. And that's the presentation of the Haines Borough. Thank you very much, and I welcome you to speak at your leisure with the other staff representatives and the deputy mayor for other issues with the Haines Borough. Thank you.
Thank you, Debra.